Welcome back to Cedar Cove. It's the 8th episode and I am adding in the final editions of this park series. Over a year later, this project is nearly finished and I'm so excited to see it out. But first, let's finish this park. Welcome back to Cedar Cove. Now this is going to be a little bit of an odd episode. If you've seen my most recent community tab post, and I mentioned it in my Discord server as well, but this is the final episode of Cedar Cove before the tour. As this is a series I've been working on pretty much since the beginning of Planet Coaster 2, I felt it was time to bring it to a close, and because we've got so many awesome coasters in this park so far, I do feel like it's achieved its purpose. I wanted this park to be just a coaster playground of testing out all of the new features and rides we had in this game. And I think it's succeeded in that. We've got some incredible rides from a whole range of guest creators, the competition and myself included. So yeah, I'm really happy with how this project is finishing out. But there are quite a few little areas of the park that do need some work to bring them up to a pretty finished standard so we can finish this series and move on to the next big thing. Because as you know, I've probably mentioned it quite a few times now, my next park series has been something that I've been working on for a long time now, and I'm very excited to share the ideas with you once I commit them to the actual game. So yeah, the next sort of videos after this and the tour of Cedar Cove will be that next park series. But our first area over here, as you can see, I've blocked it in with some boards. I did this in Whispering Woods. This is sort of going to be an expansion area, so when you download the park you can add your own rides and coasters and stuff here if you'd like to. I quite like doing that in projects. It just gives it a bit of interaction even after I've finished it. Over here I'm going to add a flat ride to complement the amazing RMC that was part of the competition winners set that got added to the park. Just think this area needs a little flat ride to finish it off. I've got the gift shop, a toilets unit, so I think that'll go quite nicely. Over here, I'm thinking some sort of entertainment venue. It's not really something I've done in a park series before, but I think the scale of this park, it would definitely have some sort of entertainment space, sort of like the stage area outside of what used to be Rip Ride Rockit at Universal Studios Florida. Oh, I love the noise of the B&Ms in this game. You can see it roaring around. Really enjoy that coaster. Over here, just next to the Intamin drop tower, I have also fenced off this little area too, so if you wanted to do something there you could. But this little space here, I wanted to have a go at a play area, so I think I might put this here. It's quite a nice spot for it. It's sort of nice that it's around a part of the park that doesn't really have that many family rides yet, at least, so it would be nice to have that there so families can stop off and the kids can have a bit of a play in that area. I added this flat ride when I added the Vekoma STC, but I also want to add another coaster in this area, a family coaster. I think it'll be a family Vekoma coaster. It'll probably go nicely over the water line there. I think that could be quite cool. Just next to the colossal Mack Hyper in the background, and it brings us onto this space just to the right of it, which you can see I've been sort of stenciling out some stuff with the terrain paint on the floor. I have moved the cable car system as well, the station there, but I want to add a couple of flat rides in a kiddie coaster and sort of make this into a little bit of an informal kids area, just sort of like you've got the pathway leading around there and you get a few kids rides in, have some nice interaction with a bit of a lake there, sort of a pond really, and then it brings me onto this area too, which I want to add the park's second sort of big dining location. The first one was off near the Premier Rides LSM coaster. I want to add another one here since we've got such great views over the lake, over all of the huge coasters in this park, so I thought that could be a really nice spot for that. And yeah, that is pretty much it for all the things I'm going to get done in this episode. Like I said, this is sort of a little in-between episode between, like, obviously the last major coaster edition being the Mack Hyper coaster in the background there from Flooded Tombs. Incredible ride, I love that. And then sort of from now until the tour, this is just going to be an in-between finishing off episode before we tour this huge park, and then I can move on to my next series, which will be a narratively led theme park series. Really excited for that, but I'll stop waffling now and get into this park's final editions. I've had a very busy few days getting this park's final additions into place, and I have to say I'm pretty happy with how the park looks at the moment. Obviously I would love to spend so much more time developing this park, but I really want to move on to the next project, and I do think it's time now, so I'm quite happy with the state that Cedar Cove is being left in. As you can see here, we have a bit of an entertainment venue like I mentioned earlier, got some seating, some food units, nicely landscaped all around it, and a huge stage in the middle. I'll put the blueprint on the screen for this now so you can see it. It's from the workshop. Really great blueprint. I did have a try at building one, but I just thought you guys create some really awesome stuff that's already on the workshop, so I thought I would give that a go, and it fits really nicely. All I had to do was scale it down a little bit, put the Cedar Cove sign on, and I'm really happy with the way that that looks. Just nice and simple, little event space in the centre of the park, so whenever they have any like music or just even daytime like entertainment going on as you walk past. Over here next to the competition RMC entry, we have this what's it called, Ghost Hour Skyfly flat ride. I really like the way that this is integrated. This feels like a very like heavily nature inspired area. There's a lot of foliage, it's all quite large, so I thought this ride would be quite nice, like you're flying over the foliage, and the colours sort of complement the RMC as well. Do need to put a ride sign on there, but I will add that before the tour. Maybe chuck a couple of benches around this area, but yeah, quite like the way that that works and complements the RMC quite nicely, and it doesn't take away from the view either. I didn't want it to be too imposing, so I thought that was quite a nice fit, and it's also not that thrilling as well, so it sort of allows kids and thrill seekers to be in the same area at once, which is always nice. And you can just see the RMC flying around there. If you haven't already seen a POV for this, I highly recommend going back and watching the competition winners video, where I placed these 3 amazing competition winners coasters in the parks, or you can wait until the park tour where I will be doing a POV of every coaster in the park. Down here, like I mentioned last time, this is a little bit of a fenced off area, but I have also added this little play area. I love this. This blueprint is incredible. Again, I'll put the image on the screen now for where you can find this on the workshop, but this creator's done an incredible job. Really like all the details in this, especially how colourful it is. It just really brings the area a bit more to life, gives it that more visual interest, and obviously got the insane views of all the coasters around it as well. I just think it fits really nicely. I do want to focus a lot more on designing smaller areas like this in my next park series, because I just think you can put so much more like energy and interest into smaller places, and just look at that view is insane. But as you can see over the water, there's a new coaster, so we'll go and have a look at that in a second. But yeah, very happy with that play area. I highly recommend going and downloading that blueprint so you can add one into the your parks for yourself. Got the Vekoma STC over here, which I've recently named Rival as well. I can't remember whether I told you that in any previous episodes, but we do also have a Vekoma Boomerang. I did think, just when most parks buy these coasters, you normally get like a 2-for-1, well, not really a 2-for-1 deal, but I imagine you get pretty heavily discounted if you're buying 2 at the same time. So I did think a Vekoma STC would probably come along with a Vekoma family Boomerang as well. I would have ideally liked to tie these 2 together, sort of how well, the only 2 STCs in the world do it, but I'll probably save that challenge for another video or another park series. But yeah, we have Torque here, just in Vekoma family Boomerang. Quite simple layout. I don't think this is an actual layout, it's just one that I've made up. Just does a helix, quite a nice turn, little snapping airtime hill, and then goes into like this sort of low down double up spike towards the Mac Hyper there, and then falls back down. Quite a nice simple station as well. I quite like how the lift hill rises up into the foliage there as well. It's just a very nicely like foliaged park. Is that a word? Foliaged? I also added a ride name for that as well. Can't remember the name of the ride. But yeah, the station building is quite simple as well. Just simple timber building, green roof on there as well, but you get some nice views around it as well. Like I mentioned earlier in this park series, this isn't a theme park, it's an amusement park, so you're just really going for the vibes. But let's go for a POV. And there you go, there is your first coaster of the the two last coasters in Cedar Cove, I guess. You see the huge Mack Hyper over there, which I absolutely love. And then over here we have this little family area that I mentioned. We have a spinning teacups ride. I just called this spin because I didn't really know what to call it, but it'll do. You can see there's the relocated what's it called, sky ride in the background. We're going to have a look at that in a second. Oh, the views of this coaster are insane. Yeah, this simple spinning teacups ride, nice vibrant colour scheme. Got the sky ride in the middle there. I did mention that I'd relocated this station because it was sort of in the middle of this area, so I've pushed it back a little bit. Got the lift access there as well as the stairs, and you can take that across to the other side of the park to make travelling around a bit easier and a bit faster. Oh, I'm in a tree. We also have this, I think the ride model is called a Sizzler in real life. I haven't named it. What did I call it? Twist and Turn. Yeah, I'm really great with names, as you can tell. But yeah, nice simple ride. Again, just sort of a good ride to have in a family/kids area, along with this coaster. This is a Zero Force coaster, custom layout that I've made, and you won't be mistaken if you actually recognise this layout. This coaster was supposed to be in Whispering Woods. I did build it, I think, in either the second, I think it was either the third episode or the fourth one of them. I built this coaster that was going to be in the expansion plot that I showed you, but I decided not to include it because I don't really think it fitted with the park, at least narratively, because both of those coasters had like a story. This one obviously didn't. And I wanted to leave that expansion plot for you guys to build something on if you wanted to as well. So this coaster has made its way into Cedar Cove. It's a nice simple layout. I thought it worked quite well for a kids coaster. You go around 2 laps, not very tall. Quite like how the sky ride supports go through it as well. Very simple station building design as well, with some clouds like trimming the roof sort of thing. This feels like, oh, I added this tree too. Nice tree. This kind of feels like one of the coasters that would have been in the park really early on. Like one of the first coasters, so obviously it's not sort of as developed as much like around the area, like the landscaping wise. It sort of feels like quite simple and held back, and especially with the station build, it's not very modern, but I quite like that style. You can tell it's a bit older. But yeah, let's go for a ride on this coaster. There we go, that was the park's final coaster, unless of course you want to add one once this park file goes on the workshop after the tour. And then the final addition for this penultimate episode of Cedar Cove is this huge covered food area. I just had the idea of having sort of like this big wooden pavilion structure on the edge of the water here, just to really maximise and celebrate those views of the incredible coasters that we've got all across the skyline of this park. So I just thought I'd create this like nice wooden structure. It's got a bit of solar shading at the top as well, and it's just an undercovered outdoor space that you can sit, eat your lunch and get some incredible coaster views. I can think of quite a lot of parks where I'd like a space like this that I've been to, where you can just like, chill, especially in the shade, and watch the coasters go around, get some nice food, get some nice photos and videos of the rides. And yeah, I just think this would be quite a nice social space. It would probably be good to have like a space like this near one of the like the stage venue as well, but I didn't really develop the park far enough to sort of plan that in. This park, as you can probably tell, has just been very patchwork of me like sticking on areas as I thought of them. The park layout doesn't really have much of a an overall plan around it about why it sort of is the shape it is and stuff, which is obviously what I want to focus on a lot more in my next park series. That's been meticulously planned through from the beginning, and as the park develops, you're going to see like different areas like expand and change and adapt over time, and that's something that I really want to focus on, sort of how like the real life narratives of theme parks evolve over like a period of time. So yeah, really excited for that project. But yeah, that is all for Cedar Cove now. I will leave you with the tour for next episode, and then that'll be be it. My second ever completed project in Planet Coaster 2. I started this before Whispering Woods, and Whispering Woods is finished now, so it's quite nice that I will have both of these projects finished and I can move on to the next thing, because I think when I started these right at the beginning of Planet Coaster 2, they've sort of, at least the additions that I've made in this park, the guest creators did an insane job, but it sort of feels like I've built with the skills that I had back then, and now that I've improved, I want to really do a lot more with that. So yeah, very excited for the next thing, and I will see you in the tour. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.